Hi, this is Austin Willis, publisher of ConcretePolishingMagazine.com. We're here at World of Concrete in 2010 with David Lowe of Lythic, and we were actually just talking, David, about coming down to our testing facility down in Reno, Nevada, of seeing some of his great products and his, if anything, his great knowledge. Would you like to expand on that?
Well, absolutely. You know, one of the things that we're very excited about is being able to teach people what we believe is a very simplistic view, which is a simple process of densifying concrete. And one of the things we're trying to do is educate either the applicators, the general contractors, the architect on what it is. This industry is all kinds of different, what we feel are sidebar arguments or discussions, and the real discussion should be over here. And what I mean by that is this. What's unique about our material is that we are a colloidal silica. Okay. Almost everybody else in the industry is using silicates. And the significance of that is, ultimately the question is, how do you get the silica to the calcium hydroxide in the slab? Okay. And with a silicate, you need all kinds of issues, or material to suspend the solution, suspend the silica to get it to react. With our material, there is no other stuff, if you will, in the way. We just have silica. It's going to react to the calcium hydroxide. So the viscosity is much less, the pH is much less, the reactivity is going to happen quicker. We have a very consistent small size, nanometer size of our material, and we can control that. We have two products, one with a very small size, one with about a 9 or 10 size, larger size for certain applications.
Oh, okay. A little bit about your background, please.
Well, as it relates to Lythic, we didn't go out looking for a new product. We found it in the right place at the right time and asked the right questions and connected the dots. We were about 6 years ago asked to do a project, and the owner started asking questions about what's this densification you're doing. And within a few minutes, the questions he was asking me were, I don't know the answers to them. He said, ultimately he told us what we make here will do a better job of densifying concrete floors than anything else that's out there. So I said, fine, let's put it on your floor, and we did. For the next 2 or 3 years, we continued to use the material on non-specified projects. And our crew and everybody that used it wanted to use it all the time. Finally, about 2.5 years ago, decided, you know, this is truly unique. It's not just a Me Too product, it's truly a next generation material. Yes. And so we thought, let's invest, do the testing, educate ourselves, and help, again, educate the industry as to what this means. So again, this is our second year of being at the World of Concrete, and our goal now is to teach people that there is a better way, an easier way, more cost-effective way than the traditional way of densifying floors. And so that's the excitement from us as applicators, coming up with solutions. All the densifiers work, that's not the question. They all do the same thing, which is densify concrete by reacting with it, delivering silica to the calcium hydroxide. What we've done is simply found a more efficient way to do that.
That's exciting, especially from the rest of us that are contractors and applicators, which it's encouraging that David understands what it's like to be out in the battlefield. And I'm sure we've all had thoughts like he did. We've been approached by questions that we couldn't answer, and hopefully David will help educate us and what the different types of densifiers are.
Well, what was kind of fun is for the first 3 years or so, about year 4, once we decided to see if we can market this, I wanted to make sure that, since I'm not a chemist, that we talked to our PhDs and our chemists, educated ourselves from an applicator standpoint and the technical standpoint, and we look for ways to prove that this really doesn't work as good as we say it does. But in the end, we kept coming back that this stuff works. And anyway, so it's very exciting to deliver that and to have some solutions to some of the industry problems.
That's exciting. You know, coming from a contractor, a lot of times I've found, and I'm sure a lot of you have found, is we'll use a product and it'll fail, or we'll go back to manufacturer and they'll say it was applicator error. And I have a feeling that the people that are telling me that have never stood behind a concrete polishing machine or seen, let alone grounded or dealt with the different problems we all have. So it's encouraging to have somebody that knows what it's like to have a job go sideways.
Well, you mentioned applicator error. One of the, I guess, interesting aspects of the material is it's so simple, there is nothing that can go wrong. You put the material down, it reacts, and so, I mean, there is nothing else, there's no sodium, potassium, lithium to get in the way of the silica reacting. There's absolutely no whiting that happens. Everybody that's skeptical, we say, try it for as much as you want to on the floor, come back the next day, tell me is there whiting or not, and there's never is. And so that alone takes the applicator error question, that's probably the single biggest issue for many applicator that's got whiting. and especially when you're adding color. I mean, it's just there is no issue. So when you apply it, it's we believe polishing is more of an art than a science. There's certain steps that must be followed, but there are so many variables. Everybody asks, when do you recommend densifying when you're polishing? Well, we don't. Again, with all the variables, you have to learn how to polish, and then you can use your own, I guess, knowledge and experience based on what you're trying to accomplish will determine more of when you're going to densify than anything else. There are some standards, 200, 300, or pardon me, 200, 400 grit, but sometimes you want to do it earlier, sometimes you want to do it at the very end. So it's, but as far as applicator air, it's pretty applicator air free.
You know, that's encouraging, and stay tuned for some testing from our facility.